सुमित द्रुमदल शोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुर भाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
Thank you. I now request our Chief Guest, the University President and Geetam's Vice Chancellor to initiate the proceedings by lighting the ceremonial lamp. Thank you, sir. I now request the President of Geetam and co-founder of the Kautilya School of Public Policy, M. Sribharat, to deliver his address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here for the third graduation. So this time I had the privilege of escorting the chief guest not just from the entry road but from Delhi. So we flew from Delhi to Amravati. A lot of people were confused. Suddenly, capital city is not yet built. How are you opening an airport in the capital city? But it's not Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, but it's Amravati, Maharashtra. And so we inaugurated the airport, and then from there we have just flown here to Hyderabad. To all the guests on the dais, off the dais, students, family members, staff, faculty and students of Geetam, welcome to the graduation ceremony. To all the students, I wish I could engage more with you, but whatever intention I had of making good policy, now I'm in an office where I can do that as a policy maker. It's been a tremendous journey for me last 10 months being a member of parliament, and then having a young team of members of parliament with us, and then whatever theory I had that public policy professionals, how they're going to contribute, I have been experiencing it for the last 10 months. So I think you've all made a right choice in the path that you have taken. Almost every week we get called to at least 2 or 3 policy debates, and then they're educating us. I'm fortunate that I come from a place like Kautilya where I'm reasonably well read. Dr. Roy also keeps sending me his opinions. So they find TDP and MPs like me to be refreshingly different from many of the MPs that they engage with. So I think the awareness of policy as a sphere of practice, as a sphere of education, and the awareness of it, the engagement of stakeholders is increasing rapidly. And as the world changes, even more so. It's very challenging. I mean, I'm looking at Kautilya from afar, and I'm glad that it's in the safe hands of the Dean. And there's so much work to do. But I think the way we are progressing in terms of our academic quality, our student quality, the activities that we are doing gives us a lot of hope. And now I'm looking forward to leveraging the network that I built in Delhi to bring them all here. I mean, flying people to Hyderabad from Delhi isn't the easiest thing, but I think we're moving in the right direction. And with our chief guest, I think he will be speaking about it, but he was our founding advisory board member. He served on it. He would have been the advisory board member here, but once you become a minister, you can't hold an office of profit anymore. So we still haven't pulled off his name from the website, I think. But he doesn't hold that position. So we're very glad. I mean, he's a three-time MP, but he's only 2 years older than me. And he's also my senior at Purdue. We went to the same college. And to see someone like him shine in the parliament and to be someone who is not just young and energetic, but bipartisan. I think when he speaks, members from across the house applaud him, which is not very common. That's something that he's built over the last decade, right? We have been in the opposition, we have been in the government. And so there are some people who are able to bring that, and I wish the same for you. I think the experience that you've had at Kautilya over 2 years is not just the knowledge, but coexisting with people with different viewpoints, with different points of arrival, different socio-economic status, different language. It gives you the empathy to understand that you may not agree with them, but you should respect them. You should be able to engage with them. That's very important. And I hope these 2 years have given you that, because the other debate is, why don't we just do this like a one-year program, give you all the knowledge. But this is not about knowledge, right? I think in politics, it's not about how intelligent you are. It's whether you're able to engage with diverse stakeholders, whether you're able to empathize. That will define how successful you are going to become. So I know some of you have concrete paths in front of you today. Some of you will have it in the not so distant future. And we look forward to you all shining in the future and being ambassadors of Kautilya. We're only going to grow as high as you all do individually and together. So dream big. Do not compromise for short-term pleasures. And don't get educated by WhatsApp University, as many people do. So always be open-minded, accept criticism. I think that helps. I enjoy that in the parliament. I've been able to engage with MPs from different parts of the aisle, and that's been a great learning for me. With these few words, I know that we're running short of time. I wish the graduates all the best, and I hope you take on the more challenging and the less taken path, and I hope you don't settle for less. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat Garu, for those important words about empathy and engagement. I now request the co-founder of the Kautilya School of Public Policy, Shri Prateek Kanwal, to introduce our chief guest, Shri Ram Mohan Naidu.
I think Bharat did the introduction, so I'm not going to repeat what he just said. Sri Ram Mohan Naidu occupies a very special place in our hearts. I'll tell you why. Because he was the first few people we secularized the idea of setting up this school was. And he said, you have all my support. So the fact that you guys are here, he has a large part to play. He just has been part of the institutional building to a certain extent that I have done interviews for the first and second batch with him. So he's been deeply involved, deeply supportive, a very passionate, ardent learner, contributor to the society. I still remember one day I got a call from him that he wants to do something on menstrual hygiene for his constituency, right? So public policy 101, he's been not just becoming an MP and forgetting about policy making, but actually doing it, you know, and now becoming the youngest cabinet minister in the Modi government, which has so many people, but I think just getting there as the youngest and proving to be the most contributing minister to the government in the shortest span of time. And I think the kind of challenges ahead of him in terms of turning around the aviation sector, I think we have the right person at the right place. We are very lucky to have him today because he's not just another chief guest for us. He is somebody who loves this institution. So I think fact that he is able to take out time for us, I know he's very occupied. We're all very lucky to have him. By way of education, obviously, Bharat has mentioned, studied in the US, came back, became an MP at the age of 25. So all of you who are thinking, you know, politics is not for the young in this country, he is the person to look up to. I look up to him, right? He's been there for 3 terms. This is his 3rd term. And I think this is what young India is all about. to be able to be there at the top place and trying to make a change. We're very lucky to have you. Thank you so much today for joining us. From the bottom of our heart, thank you for contributing to building Kautilya. Thank you so much. Please, a round warm of welcome, please.
Thank you, Prateek ji. I now invite our chief guest, Sri Ram Mohan Naidu, to deliver his address.
Thank you very much. Kautilya School of Public Policy. Very happy to be here attending the third graduation ceremony. In fact, like Prateek has said, Bharat has mentioned, the association goes a long way. Since the idea was in the stage of inception, Prateek, I think, along with Bharat, has mentioned to me, because I was a MP at that point of time. So they wanted to take some comments or suggestions from a young MP, and they reached out and said that we want to build a policy school. And I was very much interested in the idea, not just because I wanted to see more policy schools coming in the country, but also that I could be a personal beneficiary of the school also. I was probably 7 years of being a member of parliament by that time. And one of the handicaps that I've seen in the system, and as myself functioning as a member of parliament, was that I needed more people to associate with me, to assist me in the process of me becoming a better policy maker. And that is where I gave them the full support. I said, this is the best thing that could happen. And who better than Geetam itself leading this whole change of creating a public policy school. And then I never realized that they could put me on the board. That was the other thing. I just thought my job is done. They gave these suggestions and all, but then they put me on the board also. And I was very happy, and I proudly taken up that position as being on the board. And from that, being on the board and going through creating this university step by step, block by block, idea by idea, student by student, and to be here today, creating the best minds in the country and pushing them into the field of public policy, I think this journey, even though it is a very short one, has a lot of meaning to it. So me being here, it's not just as a chief guest, but as a family, as a person who have truly believed in this idea of having a public policy school. So once again, I would like to thank the whole management, everyone on the dais, to have me here as the chief guest, first of all. So, and right from the Dean, Syed Akbaruddin ji, founder, president, my brother, Sri Bharat, and also member of parliament from Visakhapatnam, and co-founder Prateek Kanwal, board members, faculty members, the proud parents, and the graduating students. A very good evening to each and every one of you. I know it's a little bit delayed, because we already had another program in Amaravati, Maharashtra, just like how Bharat was mentioning. So we got little delayed by that, but I see the enthusiasm continuing in this program itself. And let me start by offering my tributes to MVVS Murthy Garu, who has planted the seed for Geetam Educational Institution. And the fact that he has been a stalwart as a policy maker, as a politician, and also as an educationalist, and the seed with which he started, and to see it grow such multifolds in multiple cities and becoming one of the biggest institution in the south of India. And I sincerely pay my tributes to him for having that idea of providing good quality education to each and every one. And then I commend Sri Bharat also for taking that idea forward at a young age. Like, I've come in into politics at a very young age. In fact, at 24 years, I was destined to come into politics, destined because it was never my full-fledged idea, or it was never my plan to come into politics. It was at that age that I lost my father, who was a stalwart in politics. And it was kind of a situation was created where I was destined to move into politics. And since then, it has been a multiple layered struggle. And I could very well see sometimes myself, see Bharat going through that struggle sometimes of at a young age, trying to lead an institution from the front and trying to stay true to the ideals and the principles and the values with which his grandfather has created this institution. I truly commend him for creating and taking forward this wonderful institution through this meeting. And also Syed Akbaruddin ji. And in fact, I've met him for the first time, I don't know if he remembers or not, in 2017 as a member of parliament. I was in the delegation which went to the United Nations, and he was the permanent representative at the United Nations at that point of time. And I was very happy and proud to see him there. First thing was that he was from Hyderabad. That's how he introduced. He asked, when I introduced myself, he's like, where are you from? So I said, Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu's party. And then he was like, oh, he was so happy to see me. And he, in fact, shared that he was from Hyderabad. So I was feeling very happy about it. And more than that, the confidence with which he moved around, with which he spoke to the other dignitaries, the excellencies and all, it inspired me a lot at that point of time. And having him come back and give back to the society in such a good way, leading this institution, especially public policy school, and trying to create that change and see the lead that he's taking, I would like to thank him also and congratulate him for all the efforts that he's putting in and the kind of direction he's giving in to the students here. I don't know if he'll agree with me or not. Probably I'd put it to him as a question: was it easier to deal with the countries or the students here today? I think that's a question he still has to answer. I don't know the answer yet. So, but leaving that aside, I would like to congratulate all the students who have made it here. 2 years of a rigorous program, and it's not that you have made something today. I would say that you have made it when you made the cut for Kautilya itself. It's such a rigorous admission process, and I was there at the time, going through 2 years of this admission process, and I understood how much thought and how much energy they were putting in selecting the students itself, how rigorously the process was built in. So it almost felt like when a student was selected himself, then it itself was a mark that he has made it through. So you already made it, but 2 years you gave a good direction to yourself. I think you're very much made the cut to be at it today. What I'd like to probably point out is that whatever happened till now is going to be 1% or 2% of what you're going to do tomorrow. So you have to go with that idea. It's not just that you've made something big for it. You've just created the foundation for yourselves to make big and great things in the future. And the idea with which the Kautilya was created was not to create better individuals. Obviously, the process was to create better individuals, but the end product is through better individuals is to create a better nation. The ultimate goal was to create better nation through better policy. And that is where I think the whole stress has been over the years. And once again, heartiest congratulations to each one of you. The day you envisioned 2 years ago is finally here. And after a journey filled with work, learning, and gaining practical experience, you have prepared yourself to be industry ready and becoming masters of policy making. Today is a great moment of pride for all of us here. And as you step back into the real world, into the reality, equipped with the knowledge and skills to create meaningful change and contribute effectively to the society, as someone who had the privilege of being on the advisory board for some time, I've witnessed firsthand the journey of Kautilya from its inception to the point of third graduation today. And as we celebrate our graduation, I'm filled with pride and optimism for the future of this great institution that holds for itself and the students that are graduating from here. And as we all know, the name Kautilya is not just a title. It is a legacy for all of us. Named after the legendary strategist and philosopher Chanakya, whose treatise Arthasastra laid the foundation for governance, economics, statecraft, the Kautilya School of Public Policy embodies his vision of pragmatic and also principled leadership. Just as Kautilya gained the Mauryan Empire to unparalleled heights through wisdom and foresight, you, the graduates of this great institute, are equipped to steer this great nation, India, toward a future of inclusive, of prosperity. Amongst all the youngsters today, I thought I would share my personal exposure to the world of policy making, and especially the students here. Like I said, in 2014, when I came into politics, I was at the age of 24, and I had certain questions to myself to begin with. 10 years later, I'm standing here as the Civil Aviation Minister of the country, as youngest minister, and Bharat was right now asking, did we have any young cabinet minister in the last 10 years? And I was telling him in the last 50 years, there was no cabinet minister at the age of 37. So this is quite an unbelievable moment for me also, just being here in politics for 10 years and you're standing here as a cabinet minister of the country. And over the decade, the path that I followed was to stay connected to the grassroots as a member of parliament, and which is important for all the policy makers here, that policy maker is not just paperwork for you, it is people's work. So you have to be connected to the grassroots. Whatever change that you want to bring into the society, you have to always imagine that behind all the data analysis that you do, behind all the paperwork that you do, behind all the surveys and researches that you do, there is ultimately a person or a group of people that are going to benefit from what you do. So you should always remember the people aspect of policy making as you move forward. And as an MP, I have actually participated in many of the parliamentary discussions and gaining a deep understanding on the challenges and opportunity in policy implementation. Initially, like I said, I felt very much handicapped with the kind of people that I thought were more required to actually help the parliamentarians also make better policy making. And that is what I see today, that is gaining more and more prominence, and which is very much a positive sign for you also graduating students, is the kind of seriousness with which policy making is being taken in the country, right from the central government, the state governments, and the industry on a whole. So there is a lot of prominence today being put on policy making, not just on the organizations, but individuals also. People are finding this more and more, finding more and more need to have these kind of policy makers and individuals who are really interested in policy making. So that is a good sign for all of you who are going forward, graduating from here. And also, right from me, trying to advocate for policies, trying to give some kind of suggestions into policy making. I today as a minister have passed 2 bills in the parliament today as civil aviation minister in the last 9 months. So the journey has been quite exhilarating for me at a personal level also. And in the journey over the years, it has taught me that effective public policy making is not just having a vision, but also bridging the gap between intent and impact. So it is not only with the intent that you move forward, but you have to see how much impact it is going to be creating at the ground level, just to the people that you are trying to target. And public policy always becomes the backbone of a nation's progress, a dynamic field that touches every aspect of the society. This is not just related to a certain aspect, but each and every aspect, each and every individual of the society gets changed with good policy making, from healthcare, education, geopolitics, foreign affairs, and economic development. And as masters of public policy, you are equipped to address various challenges that we as a society collectively face. The scope of public policy is vast, and your role is to transform ideas into actionable strategies that shape our country's future. And as public policy makers, as you move forward, it is very important that you also understand the country at the large. And that is where I think Bharat's point, what he has mentioned, is very, very important. When you're talking about the country, you have to remember that with a vast country, you're actually exposed to vast, diverse opinions also. And as a policy maker, it is very important on how do you combine all of these different ideas and come out with the best policies. It is not that there is only one best thing out of all the suggestions you get, but there is a bit of each of the suggestions that you get, and through that you have to create the better policy. So how do you accommodate all these opinions? How do you respect the different diverse opinions that come your way? And how do you integrate each and every one so that you don't leave anyone behind, but have an inclusive approach of combining everything and coming out with the best policy? I think that is going to be a challenge when the reality check is going to hit you when you move into the society tomorrow after coming out of the institution. In the institution, you have had all the guidelines, everything is scheduled for you. What time you have to go to the class, which class is going to be taught to you, what time you're going to have a break, what time for lunch. But tomorrow it is you have to decide on what you are going to do. So that is something, it's going to be a challenging affair. The world is not as easy, as pretty as it looks like. There are going to be many challenges coming your way. But remember one thing, that when you find it challenging, you always have to motivate yourself and tell yourself that you're going down the right path. It is only when it becomes tough, that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's something that you always have to remember. It is something that I always kept in mind. In my journey in the last 10 years, things have not been smooth. In 2014, I won with a majority of 1,27,000. And in 2019, when I won for elections, I merely made it with 6,000 majority. And once I contested again in 2024, I got a majority of 3,27,000. So it is very difficult to understand how people are going to vote. But the lesson to be learnt is that challenges are going to be there. Even though if it gets tough, you have to stay true to your cause. And another thing that I've learned over the years is to how do you adapt to these small situations that get created in times that becomes very, very challenging for you. And one example that I'd like to take is that my first years as Member of Parliament, we used to be 16 Telugu Desam Party MPs. And the way we used to be allocated time in the Parliament to speak was according to the number of people you had in the party. So having 16 members, we always used to get 20 minutes, 30 minutes to speak on every subject. And that gave me ample time to explain myself properly and to create a story in which I would want to explain my point. But then came the situation where we were only 3 MPs. And 3 MPs, we were given merely 2 minutes, 3 minutes or 4 minutes to explain one of the most complex bills also in the Parliament. It didn't make any sense, but that is how the system functioned. So you have to challenge yourself to put in your best of the ability to make use of the time. You can't just say that I'm a second timer, I used to speak for 20 minutes before, so I still need to get that time. I'm only going to speak if I get 20 minutes. No, but that was the situation which was pushed onto me. I took up that challenge. I said I have to reinvent myself. If I was doing it in 20 minutes, how best can I do it in 5 minutes or 4 minutes and put the point across? So these are the kind of challenges you might face today. You might be in different organizations. You might be employed or self-employed or not employed. So whatever challenges come your way, you would have already decided on what kind of change you want to create, what kind of processes you want to create into the system. But that's little adaptations is very much required, and that requires a lot of discipline, focus, and patience. So always remember these 3 words: motivation. I would not motivate you here today. We are living in a social age. If you go to Instagram, you would get motivation in all the different languages, in all ages that you want, in all forms and all kinds. So motivation is not the important aspect that we need as a country or for the youth that we need today. We need more discipline in the system. We need more focus, concentration, and we may need more patience for all the people, because we are trying to look at long term. And that is where I see a lot of youngsters who are coming out, graduating, who are intelligent, knowledgeable, who feel that they have cracked it by earning the necessary cut in their marks in the institutions. But then they are coming out and they're just falling on a short-term models. Whatever you do, always remember this is a long-term game. It's not 1 year, 2 years, but 30, 40 years down the road. And you have to have that focus of following a long-term goal. And that is very, very important for all of you here today. And being the Civil Aviation Minister, I can also share that this is one of the most exciting departments here in the country today. I was not so excited when I was given the ministry, to be honest. I was 10 years as a minister, and the least visited ministry for me was the Civil Aviation Ministry. So when I was given the ministry, I was like, what happens in Civil Aviation Ministry? But then 9 months into the ministry, I can't think of being minister for any other ministry. I feel that this is the best ministry that anyone could lead, because the kind of energy this civil aviation is generating across the globe and in the country also. And the number of airports in the last 10 years itself, from 74 to staggering 159 till the morning. After Amaravati happened, it is 160 now in the evening today. So we have created 160 airports in the country. And look at how progressively this aviation sector is growing up to 10 to 12% CAGR every year. So there is a lot of scope for growth. I'm just saying all this because some of the individuals that are here today, I want to divert you into civil aviation. I want more and more people, youngsters, especially Geetham people, to come into civil aviation, because in my ministry, the biggest thing that we can do is policy making. We are the regulator here today. So we need more and more youngsters coming into this field. And I can proudly say that I have one Geetham working as a young fellowship in my ministry also. And definitely I'd be looking into for a few more people in the future itself. But if you are looking at some good, enthusiastic, energetic industry, I think civil aviation is one aspect. There is a lot of growth happening right from airports, airlines, and other stakeholders and different kinds of potential this aviation has. I think you can have very prospective career in that. And I would also work with the Kautilya Institution, to ensure that if you are interested in this area, then I could link up with the right people so that you can have a career moving forward. But I would also say, saying that it's not about immediately just finding a job or just sitting in a position where you feel comfortable with. Again, I would like to highlight what Bharat has said, that challenge yourself. You have to continuously challenge yourself and you have to stir the waters. Just don't wait for the waters to be calm. You have to stir the waters and you have to see what is going to come out of it. You all have exceptional talent. The only thing is you have to believe in the talent and you have to move forward believing in that talent. So I would say that don't go the easy path. Take the road which is very tough, which is when you'll find it to be more exciting and you'll find it that it is more enriching to you down the way also. So try to be a job giver. I've always seen that earlier the governments and all, they were focusing more on creating policies for startups. But now I'm seeing a good change there. It's not anymore like policy for startups, but there are startups for policies also today. So that is where I think there is an opportunity for you to lead an idea also. Not just to lead a career through a job or something, but you have to lead an idea which is going to give a big change, show a big change in the society. And how you're going to do it is not just trying to better yourself, but by the actions that you do, how can you do better for other people? So that is again the attitude and the mindset that you have to generate when you are in public policy making. At the core, you have to keep public in the mind and then you have to move forward. And these are some important aspects that I have learned in my career and in the last 10 years. And I still feel that I'm still learning. It's not that now that I'm made chief guest and put on these red robes. In fact, I was feeling a lot of pressure considering the previous chief guests that Kautilya has brought in. One of them is my guru himself, Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, who has come. And I was feeling so proud of the words that he has said at the time. It in fact inspires me. I'm still a youngster today trying to learn things in politics. But I'm sharing some of the aspects which public policy is shaping up, how the public policy is shaping up in the country. And being in Delhi, where it is the most active region for public policy making, I see that in the last 10 years itself, there has been stupendous growth. There has been a lot of buzz around public policy making. Each and every minister, each and every ministry, and the government itself are moving into having more and more individuals being associated with public policy. And one good thing, in fact, I've been engaging with the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also on multiple occasions. And one interesting thing that he points out is that when we try to create policies, one common way of doing it is that we try to go in for all these international organizations, just believing that they are going to be the best. But he believes that the talent has to be nurtured within the country itself. And there are these great minds, great associations in the country. And he advises, he encourages the ministry to pull up those kind of institutions, those individuals, and attach them to the ministry. I felt that that was a great initiative and a great thought, a great observing factor also. Don't just depend on these high-flying names which have made the names at multinational levels and across the countries, but try to find those institutions which are connected to the grassroots, which are continuously working with the people in the country itself. So that is, I feel, I'm just sharing with you so that you feel confident that this is an area which is going to open up in the future. The focus of the government is to find more and more people within the country itself who are more connected to the ground level. So definitely there are a lot of opportunities for you which are going to wait forward. And this whole 2 years that you have spent in Kautilya is going to lead you in a proper way. I truly believe in that. And while the classrooms were being built, we were here seeing the classrooms along with Dilip ji, Roy ji, everyone. And we had the opportunity to see. I'm sharing this because I know how much thought has been put in each and every aspect of what you have gone through in the 2 years. And the kind of vision with which they have created this institution. It was always not to create an institution of national standards, but of global standards. And it was a time during COVID where we were not even able to meet physically also with each other as board members. We were all sitting in front of screens and trying to discuss the idea of Kautilya, how it is going to come up, who is going to be there, how the faculty is going to be, what are we going to do with the students, how long is the career program. So all these ideas we were sitting in front of screens and thoroughly discussing. And I would say that because of the intentions of each of the member that has been there, especially led by Mr. Sri Bharat, the intentions were so true and so real that we are seeing what we have envisioned at that day is becoming reality today. So it's very happy to be here, back here. A long way to go for all of you. I'm very proud that you have made it here today. But I'm just giving a reality check to all of you that it's not going to be as easy as waking up in the morning and going to class and hearing the best from all the people that have come from different institutions across the world. But that is how it is. You have to learn it as fast as you can. Learn to walk, learn to run, and learn to fly. I think that's the most important thing for all of us. And one thing I would suggest at the end is, as you learn to fly, just remember to keep your feet on the ground. So sincere congratulations to each and every one of you, and to the parents and the institution for being a supporting pillars for all of you to come here today. And I wish you all the best to the future of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ram Mohan Garu. Thank you for sharing your experiences, for reminding us about KSPP's vision, and of course, reminding us to keep people at the base of our work. I now request our university president to felicitate the chief guest.
Everyone's curiosity can be answered.
Thank you. May I ask our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor D.S. Rao. May I ask our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor D.S. Rao, to hand over the pledge to Ms. Vaibhavi Avasthi. I request the Pro Vice Chancellor to ask the students to take the pledge.
Let the graduates now take the pledge.
I sincerely promise and declare that if admitted to the degree for which I am a candidate and for which I have been recommended, I will, in my daily life and conversation, conduct myself as befits a member of Geetam deemed to be university. I shall, to the utmost of my ability and opportunity, support and promote the cause of sound learning and strive to set an example of high principles and conduct. I will, as far as in me lies, uphold and advance social progress and the well-being of my fellow human beings. I will never make my knowledge subservient to unworthy ends. I will faithfully and carefully fulfill the duties of the profession that I am trained for. I will on all occasions maintain purity and reputation, and that I will never deviate from the straight path of their honorable exercise. Thank you.
Let the pledge of the graduates be considered as administered.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to the event that our students have been looking forward to for the last 2 years. I request our Dean, Shri Sayyid Akbaruddin, to please present the candidates.
Sir, permit me to present to you the candidates whose names are herewith submitted for admission to the degree of Master of Public Policy from the Kautilya School of Public Policy from the Geetam deemed to be university. May I now request your permission to begin? The list of candidates. Arini Mishra. Abhishek Singh Gaurav. Akshit Dheda. Anshika. Bhanuru Harishwar. C. Prateek Chandra. Chelikani Lasya. Cherukuri Sri Harsha. Gary Matthews Konda. Subhash Verma. H. Luang Sang Muan. Kulkarni Shivani Ravindra. Lakshmanan S. Lekhani Heman Raja. Nandini Diwan. Nishant Punyani. Oshik Bhattacharya. P. Aradhana. Pinaki Gakhar. Purvasha Anand. Rohit Singh Gautam. Soumya Anand. Shanam Rafiq. Kshitish Jha. Siddharth Rao. Srajan Mishra. Vaibhavi Avasti. Vivek Kalhan Reshi Raina. Ivona Tia Steele. Bhagyashree Sanjay Wankhede. May I now present the list of candidates for award of medals. President's Gold Medal for the first ranker in the Master's Program in Public Policy, Oshik Bhattacharya. Gold Medal in memory of the late Shri Yanamandra Mallikarjuna Rao for the course Economic Freedom, Financial Inclusion and Digital Banking, Shri Cherukuri Sri Harsha. The Dean's Gold Medal for the best capstone thesis, Rohit Singh Gautam. That's it. Yes. Yes. So,
Women are taking over science and management, men are taking over politics.
Thank you. I now request the Vice Chancellor, Professor Errol D'Souza, to admit the candidates to the degree of Master of Public Policy.
In the name and on behalf of the Board of Management of Geetam deemed to be university, I admit you to the degree of Master of Public Policy in this university, and in token thereof, you have been presented with these degrees.
Thank you. I request the Registrar, Dr. Gunasekharan, to have the record of degrees signed by the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir. I now invite our student Kshitij Jha to deliver the student speech.
Check. Right. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I extend a warm welcome to our esteemed Chief Guest, Minister of Civil Aviation, Shri Ram Mohan Naidu. Thank you, sir, for gracing this important event with your presence. I extend a warm welcome and thanks to the President of Geetam University, Shri Bharat, sir. Sir, your elegance, charm, and calm composure has always been like a collective therapy for us whenever you've come for the town halls. And thank you for supporting us in all ways. Mr. Prateek Kaval, sir, co-founder of Kautilya, always giving us networking tips and real-world guidance, and we're always grateful for that. So thank you. Dean, Ambassador Syed Akbaruddin, can we have a cheer for the Dean once? Thank you, sir, for steering Kautilya's journey with clarity and conviction, and for opening doors for us, standing by us and teaching us lessons, many of which may not you even realize that you have taught us. As I stand here today looking out at all of you, my fellow graduates, our dedicated professors, extremely supportive staff, and proud families, our support systems and our biggest cheerleaders, I'm filled with a mix of emotions today. That's hard to put into words, but as future policy experts, that's what we've been trained to do, right? Putting complex ideas into something that's understandable. So let's go back. Let's rewind to the orientation week, which felt like one giant group project where no one knew what was happening. And somehow we still made it work. And after 2 years, I can confidently say that, guys, we still made it work. I think I think that that was the first time we learned how to work as a team, and we've aced it since then. Whether it was deadlines crashing, deadlines changing, assignments clashing, crisis happening, which happened quite a few times, we literally lit things up during our time. But one thing remains same. The batch of 2025 stood united always. We have celebrated every festival together, navigated the highs and lows like one big joint family, and truly lived every lecture. Maybe not the 9 a.m. ones. One of us might relate to that. What sets us apart is we didn't just study theory, we experienced the reality of policy with a lot of people, which a lot of people don't get to experience. We had simulations, we had field visits, we had visiting faculties coming in, we had those debates in the horseshoe. And the fact that after so passionately debating about politics in class, we could go outside the classroom and joke about it. And that tells the maturity of this cohort that we know the tone where it belongs without happening any brawls outside the horseshoe. We've had experts share their truths and professors who didn't just teach, they transformed the way we think. To Pandey sir, thank you for your blunt honesty and the reality checks on the Indian economy. The reality checks on the Indian economy we didn't know we needed. And for teaching us that 9 a.m. truly means 9 a.m. One of us might relate again. To Vishnu sir, who didn't just teach us statistics or challenges of AI, but he taught us how to learn by learning with us. With every new lecture, we saw his genuine curiosity to learn from us through feedbacks, and I think that's commendable. To Vasudha ma'am, who taught us a very important thing, that every claim must be backed by data. And she always had the data. To Kanika ma'am, who opened our eyes to the complex beauty of geopolitics and international relations. To Sharik sir, for sharing his wisdom in our classes. To Dr. Sach Rai, for having that intellectual presence in Kautilya. And we have all cherished Dr. Faizan Mustafa's lectures that were so lyrical that they often felt like poetry wrapped in policy. To Venkatesh Verma sir, who we lovingly call our chap, but he taught us negotiation. That's a very critical skill that we'll carry with us. Dr. Roy is here. I don't think any classes can be that fun when a person like him with that stature is teaching us. We have Mr. Ovais Sarmat, who came for a guest lecture. And I think these are the commendable people who gave us the wisdom and knowledge that we needed in the policy space. And who could forget Shivangi Sharma, aka the program general manager. She chased us. She literally reminded us, and yes, maybe we grumbled about it, but guys, let's be honest. She just wanted us to fill the feedback forms on time. And if she ever sends you a Google form in the future, it's our moral responsibility to just fill it for old time's sake. Ajesh sir, I have truly never seen someone in operation so calm. Please take a bow for handling everything with such quiet strength, elegance, and that ever reassuring smile. Shivangi Pandey, in her multiple roles as TA, EA, and to Gayatri, Poonam, Areman, Vishnu, Monesh, Akshara, you stood by us like a rock, always looking for us. And for that, we'll always be grateful. Although they are not here today, but I won't go without thanking Arushi, Rituja, Rashad, Shrestha, Shreya, Kankana, and Shubham. Each of them has shown us the kindness, patience, and support all the times. To Venkatanna, Lalita Akka, Dayanand Bhai, all the kind-hearted souls of Kautilya, this day is just as much yours as it is ours. To Jeetu Bhai and the incredible studio team, Sheshagiri sir, thank you for being the support behind so many of our moments. To the ever smiling hospitality team and Ambika ma'am, thank you for being the silent strength behind every smooth moment that has made us feel truly special. And to our lovely juniors out there, thank you for everything. It's been heartwarming to see some of you always doing something, planning something to just make us feel special. And I think that we'll take that with us. We can talk about the unity that we have shared. Nothing runs smoothly without strong leadership. And I want to take this moment to thank one person who has truly stood the test of time. First as the VC, and then as the chairperson, Prateek Chandra. To my fellow council members, Akshit, Purvasha, Srajan, the journey has been as challenging as it has been transformational for us. I can't go without thanking my dear cultural committee. Can we have a big cheer for them? Lasya, Lekhni, Pinaki, Nandini, Gary, and Bhagyashri for always making us feel at home. Big cheers to all the club heads, Lakshman and Climate Action Club, Subhash, Safarnama, Nandini and Lekhni Podcast Club, Pinaki Professional Development Club, the OG Cash Committee led by Nishant and Vaibhavi, and so many others. Thank you for bringing life, purpose, and passion to every corner of Kautilya. Our dean always tells us we can just open doors for you, right? I think while that's true, our batch has taken that quite literally. We have not just walked through doors, but kicked some open and even held them for others to enter. That's what makes us unmatched. We also must arrange some degrees for Siddharth and Aradhana's cars, which have been public goods since the last 2 years. From last minute college entries and to late night snack runs, I think they played a very real role in our graduation today. And to all of the faculty members and visiting scholars we've had, a big thank you to them for filling our minds with wisdom and our hearts with purpose. Before anything else, before the degrees, the job titles, the policies, and the accolades, I believe what truly matters is that we remain good human beings. In a world that's increasingly transactional, being kind, honest, and empathetic is truly revolutionary. We have learned how to analyze policy, we have learned how to write memos, we have learned how to negotiate, we have learned how to lead. But perhaps the most valuable lesson we have learned, often between the lines, is how to show up for one another, to listen without judgment, and to care without conditions. Because policy without empathy is just paperwork, and power without humility is dangerous. Success without compassion is hollow. Our country is facing enormous challenges: inequality, climate change, urban planning, rural development. But when I look at all of you, I am filled with hope, because I know the passion, intelligence, and the integrity you all carry with you. So, my fellow graduates, as we leave this campus, let's make a promise to ourselves and each other. Let's stay curious, keep learning, and never lose sight of the people our policies will impact. As we step into the world beyond these walls, we will face challenges, like Mr. Ram Mohan Naidu has also mentioned. But it is the courage to face them that will define us. So let's all remember, हजारों तूफान आए मगर हौसला ना हार, यही तो असल जिंदगी है, यही असल प्यार. Thousands of storms may come, but never lose courage. This is the true essence of life. This is the true love. Class of 2025, we came here how to change the world. We learned that, and now let's go out there and do it. Thank you and congratulations to us all.
Thank you, Kshitij. Thank you. As our graduation ceremony draws to a close, I would like to thank the many people who have come together to make it possible to celebrate our students' achievements. I would like to begin by thanking our chief guest, Sri Ram Mohan Naidu, for taking the time to be here with us today. I thank the Geetam President, M. Sribharat, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Errol D'Souza, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor D.S. Rao, our Registrar, Dr. D. Gunashekharan, and the Kautilya co-founder, Sri Prateek Kanwal, for their presence here today. I thank all our guests, our visiting faculty, Geetam faculty, staff, and students, and other guests for being part of this graduation ceremony. In particular, I thank our students' parents who have come from many different parts of the country to celebrate this important milestone with us. The Geetam Directorate of Evaluation, the Academic Affairs Office, Hospitality, Media, Operations, Housekeeping, Purchase and Finance, CATS, Travel Desk and Security teams have worked tirelessly to put this event together, and we thank them for all their efforts. We also thank the Office of the Pro Vice Chancellor for their assistance in ensuring the success of our ceremony. Our office staff, student volunteers, academic associates, faculty, media and AV team, operations team, program office, placements office, and admissions office have juggled their responsibilities with their work for the ceremony, and we thank them for all their enthusiasm and dedication. Thank you all for your contributions to this important event in the journeys of our students and of the Kautilya School of Public Policy. Thank you. I now request you to rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate the achievements of our students. We request you to join us for high tea in the Geetam Cafe. Before that, I request all the students to join us on stage, our graduating students to join us on stage for a photograph.
On stage, leave that there and come.
No, you're part of the photograph.
Okay.